Hey guys, Derek here for Rekindle PH Online, and we're doing some low output testing. So we decided to go with scary stuff, just for nights. And as per Elijan or Dina's request of doing some podcast, scare podcast, but I'm a little bit skeptic because we will be joined by Brian Valentino tonight, the Kung Ako Magdako guy. I think he's gonna be joining in as well because it's her rest day tomorrow. And a couple more people. JJ is gonna be our official videographer. JJ is gonna be joining in. Who else? Toto, Dan, probably Eggy, Wem after his push-ups, gonna be joining us tonight. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited. So again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, like our page, Facebook page as well. We have the links on the stream itself. Don't forget to subscribe. Sharing would be also awesome. Right? Let's see. We don't have anyone yet on the channel, but let me mute myself. Let me unmute myself. There you go. And we're doing the scary background music is Scary Atmospheres Chapter 1 by David Feslian. Of course, big shout out. Saw it in a royalty-free website. Just for cheap like that. Right. Right. And hopefully we'll get our recurring viewers tonight as well. Hopefully. So leave chats if you have requests. We'll be playing some local music still, right? And earlier, the frontman of Kali Island went live. Look for that. Let me just have the photo load when he sent me. It's an invite you guys. Earth Hour Jam. Why is it that Deadman's loading at like? But anyways, they're gonna have a live music jam 1 p.m. On the 28th as well, the day that we also will do our quarantine event for our arsonist 8 p.m. up until 12, right? Let's see, it's not showing up, but it's live online Earth Day reggae jam, and I'll try to make the photo load on my end. Hopefully it'll pull up. Not sure what's, but photos are not on my end. Right, and speaking of Kali Island, I'm gonna leave you with a track. Since it's quarantine, it's a community quarantine in Bacolod, it's gonna be a more enhanced quarantine on the 30th. I think that's a Monday. So here's a song called. Wait, let me look for it first. And you can check our playlist as well. We sent you the link on the description section of the YouTube stream. Right? Here's a song called Lalabas Sana Ako by Kali Island.
Lalabas sana ako, magala at tatambay, ngunit ilagang dumating, kaya dito na lang tayo sa bahay. Usap tayo umaga hanggang gabi, tila di mapakali. Nagkatitig, mata sa mata, mga labi mo nang iimbita. Pilit ko ng tequila ang nakaramdaman. Nagkatabi tayo. Kinabukasan, gusto mo nang umuwi. Nagpasalamat sa maikling sandali. Lalabas na sa aking munting pintuan nung biglang umulong at umulan. Pilit lumang ang nararamdaman. Nais lumang iwasan, gumawa ng kasalanan. Naantok ka na, ganun rin ako. Ngunit labas ng araw, gising pa rin tayo. Walang magkakaalam at di natin lang to. Huwag mo na ipagsabihin ang minsan. Nagkatabi tayo. Ngayong kasama ka, okay na ako. Sinabot ko na ang langit, ang dahil sa'yo. Walang magkakaalam at di natin lang to. Huwag mo na ipagsabihin na minsan. Lalabas sana tayo.
That was Kali Island for you guys with Lalabas Sana Ako. And don't forget to catch Kali Island together with a couple of reggae bands doing their online jamming session for Earth Hour on the 28th, 1 p.m. If I can load the photo that he sent me, I'll let you guys in and all the details. Right? Okay, now a big shout out to TL John Ordina. Jump in. I can already see Toto Dan already on the Discord channel. For those who want to join in, let me know so I can send you the invite for the audio communication that we're using, which is Discord. You can go to discordapp.com/download. Right, the music you win. Right, again, what we have for you guys tonight is we're gonna try to read a couple of scary stories that we can find in Google with the keywords scary but call it stories. Try to make justice of stories that we have for Bacolod City. And we have readers like Brian Valentino, Zenki's gonna be reading, probably Tito Dan is gonna be reading, Tito Roem Ortiz after his dance covers and push-ups is gonna be joining us as well, right? And we will be playing all original Bacolod music for you guys tonight. And we started with Cali Island, and we have Quarantine by Rekindle PH on Spotify playlist that Jack Bobby is still what do you call that? Is still trying to put up together. Jack, Bobby, and George, of course, of Magic One is gonna be joining us tomorrow because they're a bit, they're pretty, right? Also, requesting all the people who are listening that if it tends, or if some of our people are actually not audible on the stream, let us know so that we can adjust it on our end. As of now, I don't have a monitor to monitor the people who's supposed to be monitored. Kidding. Right, speaking of monitored, an enhanced quarantine is going to be happening on Monday, March 30th. If I'm not mistaken, fast food restaurants are going to be closed, but groceries will still be open for everyone. Consumption? Right? Let's see. Still have no request. Tito Dan, you still there?
Yep.
Right. How's your gaming channel going?
Oh, it's kind of suck though, cause I don't have any extensions or any like OBS or anything that I could like connect with. So I did what I did is just like share the page or like share screen, I guess. That's on the gaming option. And it's kind of delayed because I'm streaming to YouTube down to the PS4. It's really slow. So
Is it that you can't do that over network? Do you need like an HDMI cable? No.
my PC don't have that. It's just like a normal PC for office purposes. So yeah, unfortunately no.
Can't you do like PS4 Live instead?
I think I don't have that option because I don't have a camera for the PS4. I don't know. I'm not really into like some of the details on how to stream to PS4. The only thing that they have a sync with is YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So I do have YouTube, I have Twitch, but Twitch is not really that. I don't have that option to like see the screenshot or the actual live gameplay. They only have that link that to be embedded to your Facebook account. So you need to click the link and to watch, and you need to have an account with Twitch in order to watch something coming from them. So
Don't you have like a Twitch account?
I do, but what I'm trying to say is, I want to like stream, and just like let people watch through Facebook, the live game.
Okay. Yeah, we'll help you research on that and how we can do that over Facebook Live through PS4. Right. That's done for you guys. We're still waiting for more people. Some of the people who's gonna be reading. Toto Dan will be reading stories, scary stories. You can look for.
We're gonna wait for Tita Zenke, I guess, because I think she's into that, and
I think she doesn't even need to look for articles. Huh?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if banks are open during. I think that's not a home quarantine though. It's a total lockdown.
It's a total lockdown of the whole Bacolod, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's accidental. I think that's coming from the government.
Yeah. So anything that goes in and out of Negros Occidental will be regulated. Other than that, it's not really a state lockdown that people can't go in and out, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as I know, some establishments, eateries will be closed, except for groceries, which is a good thing.
Yep, groceries, pharmacies, and hopefully banks. I don't know.
Right. Hopefully banks.
Yeah.
ATMs, if the most
ATMs
likely.
are gonna be available. There's no doubt. Yep. So.
Right. So we're still waiting for Zenki. Where she? Probably. I know. Let's message her. Zenki, where you at? Again, don't forget, on the 28th, Quarantined by Rekindle PH is gonna be happening 8 p.m. up until midnight. So for those who are interested to go live, you can message our page so that we can link you to Discord. Or for those who can't or don't have the right connection for the stream, you can send us your pre-recorded work and we're gonna play it for everyone to hear. Right. Zenki on my way na. What?
Alright.
As if she's not at home.
I'm just thinking if like on midnight on the 28th, or we can go beyond midnight, right?
We can
don't have any
if we have, because it's still gonna be an open mic. I think one of the thing that gives Rekindle the edge of like looking for arsonists is that we do a lot of open mics. So I don't really want to close the mic.
Yeah, please do.
Even online,
Because,
yeah.
I believe there's a lot of artists that really want to go out of their box, right? And I think this is the perfect venue for that, a startup venue. Because if you're gonna go live, there's a lot of jitters, because you're gonna go ahead and face a lot of people same time. But this is probably the perfect venue for you guys, because it's just your voice.
Yeah, everyone's concern right now, Tito Dan, is their internet connection, because some actually don't have connection at home. Would probably have their data. Like Taro Walker, for example, one of the open micers that we actually procured as an arsonist, started as an open micer as well. But as much as she wants to do live on the 28th, she doesn't have the connection for that, so she'll be sending probably a couple of what do you call this? A couple of her work, play it, and also Tara Walker was able to what do you call that? Let me publish her own book. It's called Red Heath. But I think production had been halted because of the quarantine. But you guys can message her. It's a compilation of all her work. And I think it's a good thing that some of our arsonists are, having the initiative to this. And Rekindle PH will eventually have that. But as of now, we really can't deal with physical products. But that's why we're going online.
Hopefully, we could have like some sort of like an online copy, like an ebook, maybe. Or...
Yeah, we can probably start with an ebook. My concern about the book, Tito Dan, is the circulation. Some people might probably copy it.
Privacy, yep.
And we need to come up with something more solid. I don't know, paid ebook copies, but still, if they have it, they can copy.
They might reason out, because most of the writers might say that you could have like a duplicate thing, but you might have also the reason out will be you might be thinking the same thing, so you can really not know who's the first one who did this or who do that.
And also, some people would actually want to read from a physical copy. I'm sure about you, but I hate reading on
online.
Aside from blogs and all that, because you have to be there. But I can read on a physical copy is better, I think.
Right. Yeah, because you can keep like a hard copy of it.
Right. So we'll be coming up with that with the push of Tito Martin. That's long. We have a lot of things overdue for our arsonist audiences. And speaking of overdue, we will be launching our website as well on the 28th during the live stream. So you guys might wanna call that. You guys might want to stick around for that as well. Right? Let's see. Do we have anyone on? We have Icy listening. Big shout out to Icy, who's done with this Jackie Chan marathon.
Well, Tito Sanki will be like going with the scary stories and stuff tonight, right? Alright.
So, Brian Valentino is gonna be joining us as well. He's just for good John Ordina.
Alright.
TLE, come on.
So who's online right now? If you have any like inquiries about love life problems, Tito Brian might have a thing or two about that.
Have a thing or two about that. We'll see. What's scarier than Brian giving love advices, right? Raid is online. Let's see. one of our arsonists. For those who are not familiar with Ray Despeja, he is also known as Tito Louie. He's actually one of the guys who conceptualized and helped Rekindle be as what Rekindle. Yeah, he's actually the muse of Rekindle. Some weird reason I come from, but right. So Tito Dan, we're gonna take a little break with an original track coming from GYHT.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
Goodbye Yesterday, Hello Tomorrow. This is called Why Don't We Die Together.
Why don't
Derek
we
here
die
at Tito
together?
Dan for Rekindle PH Online.
Alright. Hello, Tito Zenki. Tito Dan, the house, it's your boy. Don't be deceived.
Okay, so that was Why Don't We Die Together by GYHC, of course, from the Quarantine by Rekindle PH playlist on Spotify. And we sent you the link. Have the link on the description if you guys are interested to listen. It was compiled by Jack, Bobby, and George of Magic 106.3 for us to use. And of course, we're joined by Tito Pao, Tito Dan, and Tito Zenki on the other line. And Brian Valentino is not on the voice channel yet, but is already on our Discord. Again, for those who want to join, let us know, and we'll try to get you in. Right? Okay, sound check, everyone. Guys, I think you're really low. Or are you talking? Not yet.
I'm talking actually.
Yeah, you're a little low. Let me try and adjust.
Oh, I actually adjusted my volume since since the time that I heard a lot of complaints for you boys that why are you so loud? Oh my god.
No, you're good now. You're good now.
Okay, good.
All right,
Cool.
Tito Dan, your mic is not distorted. It's actually fine. No worries about that. Do you have stories, Zenki, already? I'm asking. It's not. it has a delay. So Spooky's school starts in the first edition edition. Interesting. Okay. Thanks, Tito John, TL, John, or Dina, who requested for this theme for a night. And I think it's also a good way to check on our low register as well to be ready on the 28th. Thank you. What's up?
The ceiling and the skies. I'm kidding. That is a really bad joke and it's really old. Don't do that.
The what?
Anyway. So
The what's up joke?
Yeah, the what's up joke. It's the ceiling. The sky is up. Like that's really old.
Yeah. Anything but my allowance.
Anything but my hazard pay in the hospital. So yeah, but to answer your question in a more serious note, good. Everything is good, actually. Apart from the whole COVID-19 issue,
Right.
about the whole news that the island is going to be in lockdown.
Is it
It's
how come
true.
you have your rest day tomorrow? It's this Wednesday.
Actually, it's we got a memorandum of whatever. It's just a memo from the governor himself that we are to be we're going to be changing our schedules. The people in the capital or the provincial capital will be having this whole alternate schedule. Some of them will be observing the 11-hour every day for 4 days and 3 days leave. I thought that I thought that it was just like originally going to be like a call center thing, a call center culture. Apparently it was applied here on special cases like this.
Wow.
So yeah, so as per the order of the governor, it started from yesterday, Monday, that we're going to be observing the 11/4 schedule up until April 19th, and we will be hearing from the governor himself if they're going to clear that schedule update. So I got my schedule today.
Okay.
Tomorrow, my off day. So just a lot of it.
Do you have work on the Saturday?
Apart from the whole. No, that's the thing. Well, the good thing is that we can choose one day of the week,
and
one of the weekday, and the weekends.
Okay, awesome.
The people who are on regular schedule, like us in the office, in the admin part of the hospital, we're not allowed to work on weekends. So That is our fixed weekend schedule. That's it. We don't have to go to work unless unless that part of the department should be on shifting schedules, like the IT department, the admitting section.
Right.
There's gotta be someone there.
All right.
As for us in the supply section, we just need to be weekdays, and that's it. But because of the whole new schedule that changed and stuff like that, we need to observe. We need to just have 4 days per week and just 3 days off.
Crazy.
So yeah, it's crazy. I know it's it's a lot to take in, and the whole thing about the office is that you don't get a break.
Wow.
There's just a lot of work. Still have work
same
to
in our
do and
office
stuff
then.
like that. Huh?
Same with our office. I'm kidding. I work from home.
Oh. I was like, oh.
Right. Again, guys,
Really?
you're still with Rekindle PH Online, and tonight is gonna be we'll try to, as much as we can, be scary for you guys. So we're gonna read scary stories, or if you have like scary stories to share, let us know. If you want to deliver it yourself, let us know so we can give you the link for Discord and jump in. Right, and who else do we have? Big shout out to Tito AJ, all the way from Malaysia. But Tito Roland, I'm not sure if Tito Roland is listening. Let's give him the link. He's still busy with his commenting on that guy. I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say who, but yeah, crazy. Again, we'll be playing local music for you guys from Bacolod, and a couple of scary stories from Bacolod. Local urban legends, scary ghost stories. What else? I'm not sure. But anyways, this is pre-testing for the event happening on the 28th, quarantine by Rekindle PH, 8 p.m. up until midnight. And we will be featuring local poets, local musicians, work. If they can't go live, they can send their work in. We'll be more than willing. We'll be more than happy to. Right, so again, don't forget to subscribe on our page. Alright, Tito Roland is. Right, again, we're joined by Tito Pao and Toto Dan. And Roem, not here yet. He's probably doing some dance covers and his workout. So he said he's gonna jump in once he's done. Tito Brian, I'm not sure. Not here yet. But hopefully he'll be jumping in as well. In a bit. What you? Roland can't. Right, Jack Bobby of course is online, and George, but they can't join us today, but they promise to join us tomorrow for another testing. We'll try to come up with another theme. If you guys have a request, like what particular topics we're gonna discuss tomorrow, that'll be awesome. But today, scary, or at least we'll try. Thank you. Do you have any stories for us?
It's just like I'm just gonna what's this? It's free play it basically. I don't really have an article to share.
Okay.
It's basically just experiences that we the staff had at the hospital, or where I work at. You know how like in classic horror genre, it's always the hospital, the school,
Cool.
The office building,
Call centers.
cemetery, right? Call
Right.
centers, especially here in the Philippines, it's always hospitals,
Right.
A
Is
lot of
it
people-
because that Filipinos are very superstitious and religious, that since most of us believe in the afterlife, probably that's
Yeah.
why.
I guess
What do you
so.
think?
I believe so. I mean, despite me, despite me being a non-believer at all, it's like I actually like this as the horror genre, basically as part of entertainment and stuff. I don't really believe in all that shit.
I know.
It's just I like the fear. I just really like the fear factor.
I know.
of it.
I know. Yeah, me being a skeptic as well, tend to enjoy horror stories as well.
Because you
Then
get
as
to
long
like
as real, okay.
so
Uh huh.
it's like as for me, it's like a lot of Filipinos, yeah, you're right. A lot of Filipinos are super superstitious, you know, and religious at the same time. And knowing that pre-colonial era or pre-Spanish time, we have already been spirituals because natives and
Right, right.
whatnot, right? We our ancient Filipinos basically believed in Bathala and all the spirits and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And after and then right when we got colonized by Spain, it was also like a spiritual overhaul. Basically, it was just a Catholic belief that still spiritual basically. So
Right.
maybe the whole Philippine culture and Spanish culture, the two religions just kind of like married, just got into this whole marriage thing.
Right.
That right now it's like the what we believe now is like a mixture of two cultures and two
Right.
belief systems,
Right.
which made it super interesting. So yes, to answer your question before I get veered away, um, a lot of Filipinos think that hospitals are super scary
Mm-hmm.
because that's where lives are basically running. I mean, walking on a line or running walking on thin ice, basically.
Right.
It's a between life and death kind of situation. Um, it's all the more scary for a lot of people. I've heard of this, in the hospital. Everyone says this. Every staff says that it's more scary or scarier in the hospital because this is where people die. You know how like when people believe that when people die, where they died at is where their souls will be. That's kind of like basically where the lasting place is. um, and because of that, there's a lot of stories or a lot of experiences that people had. One of them, I'll share this. Before this whole COVID-19 scare and panic blew up, I told you about this before.
You
That I
did?
shared it to you. No. I shared it to you that there was a patient
Okay.
that they thought was that had it was positive of COVID-19, but it turns out that he wasn't. It was just that he was a person under monitoring because
Uh-huh.
he came back home from Hong Kong because he got let off or let go of from his work because the whole Hong Kong riot thingy. So uh, he was showing symptoms of cold, and he had the basic cold symptoms and stuff. And then he was sent to the hospital. I'm not going to name the name hospital. He was sent there to be under investigation and under monitoring, and he was placed in the isolation area of that hospital. Now, the thing about the isolation area of that area, it was previously the infirmary. How do I say this? Infirmary, whatever,
Yeah.
of the hospital, where the staff, if we get sick, that is where we will be sent to. But based on previous cases that not COVID cases, hospitalizations or sickness, some of the staff chose private hospitals. So the isolation area or in the infirmary wasn't really used, so they just left it there. It was just like completely empty.
Yeah.
No lights, no emergency lights, no ceiling fans, whatnot. Windows, fresh paint. You can still smell fresh paint,
Yeah.
and it's been there for years now. Now, because of the whole COVID-19, the patient, I'm just gonna call him Eric. That's his real name. Eric.
Of all names, Eric. Okay.
Of all names, Eric. That's the first thing that came in my mind. But
Okay.
he was sent to the isolation area, which was previously the infirmary. Everyone was like in panic because oh my god, he might be like this, he might be like that,
Right.
he might be carrying it and stuff. So, me being part of the supply section or department of the admin, we were panicking. Also, we were like, okay, we're just gonna what's this? We're gonna issue this item, this whole thing. From emergency lights to bed sheets to medicines, it's under our section. So we had to do a lot of that. So when everything was set up in the isolation area, um, the area is so eerily silent. And
Yeah.
I heard from one of the janitorial staff, he was like, he told me that the patient was like, oh my god, do you guys have to really leave me here? I don't feel so good about this.
Okay.
He's flamboyant, and he's just so expressive about
Flamboyant.
the whole situation. I'm not gonna say the word, but he's flamboyant and he's very expressive. He is a dancer,
Okay.
He worked as a dancer, so he's very expressive. Now, of course, the doctor's orders like you gotta stay here, so he did. He stayed, and he stayed there for at least 5 days.
All right.
And on his third day, we heard stories. Of course, you know how like in stuff like this, in areas like these, stories run fast, and gossip, spreads fast. So, the setting of the isolation area or the infirmary is like, it's I'm sorry. There's a large door, like 2 doors. And when you open it, it's like a large hall as well of large rooms. So it's just on the left side, it's the windows, and on the right side, that's the rooms.
Okay.
So it's like a basic hospital setting. He was situated on in the first room of that hall.
Okay.
That was everything was set up there and everything. So because it was isolated, they had to lock the main door and the patient's room. They had to also lock it. So it's only the patient that could open his door
Right.
from the inside. So the large door, however, this could be just easily accessed by nurses, but it has what's this? You know how like large doors are? They would creak. They would have
Right.
the generic sound of that. But okay, so he was resting in his room as usual. He had lights on. There's no TV in these rooms. He was just on his phone scrolling through Facebook, whatnot, and just killing time. When he noticed that the door made an opening sound, or someone opened it or closed it. And he had the cell phone number of the nurse in charge, right? He was messaging the nurse and like, nurse, what is going on? I thought that no one's allowed to enter my room, are you there? Like, the nurse is like, yeah, I'm just here. He replied with, the nurse replied with, yes, I'm just here. Nobody walked in. It's just the wind. Now, mind you, I have not told you this, but the windows on the left side of this hall is closed shut.
Okay.
Because you know how the infirmary was never used.
Right.
The window was never opened, so the paint just kind of like it was never opened because the paint acted like a glue. It just glued itself.
Right.
So, him being expressive as himself, the windows are closed, ma'am. Excuse me. Now, this is the scarier part because he was scrolling through his Facebook, right? But of course, you can still see from the door because you know how like in hospital doors, there will always be that glass window where you can
Right,
see
right.
some outside. Now, the hallway is dimly lit, but he can vividly remember that he turned to the door and he saw a woman with a nurse's cap and a nurse's, he assumed, uniform pass by. But he never heard of the door opening again.
Right.
Because you can hear the door,
Right.
open and close. So again, when he saw that vision or apparition or whatever, he frantically messaged. Eric frantically messaged the nurse in on duty. Like, okay, now you guys are fucking me up. You guys are like pissing me off right now. I'm scared and pissed off at this. What are you guys doing, sir? I'm on break. That's what the nurse said. I'm on break, sir. Now this guy just panicked the fuck off. He was just in his corner, just laying there. He was covered up in his blankets. Like that's it. That's the whole thing. And me being like, hungry.
I'm kidding.
Me being hungry with the story, this type of genre, it's like, please let me hear this. And like everyone had a different version of it, and so I had to hear it from the janitorial staff that was on duty at that time as well, who was talking to the nurse on duty as well, because it was just one janitorial service or staff and just one nurse in that isolation area, in that big ass isolation hall. The big ass. The rooms are literally so big, Jared. Like, so big.
Okay.
You can basically house 5 other patients in there, and the toilet or the bathroom area is all so freaking big.
Okay.
So come on, if you're the only person in there, no TV,
Right,
no whatever,
true.
and the signal in that spot is kind of. It's not even that good. So like, how do you distract yourself with what you just experienced,
Right.
So that's it. It was just like the last thing that we heard, or I heard from my coworkers, that he said that when he was discharged from the hospital, he was like, thank God I'm out of here. That was it.
So where is he now?
He went back to his hometown.
Okay.
He was negative, of course.
Okay.
He just experienced what you call the cold that you get from when the weather changes, basically.
Right.
It was cold in where he came from, Hong Kong.
Right.
And when he got here, it's
suddenly
just
humid,
like,
yeah.
Well, humid, so of course you get cold. It's normal.
Wow.
Right? What do you think about it? What's your opinion? Being the skeptic here.
I know. There's always that eerie feeling when you're alone in a big room, compared to like a small room. I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but when I was a kid, I always tried to sleep with my back on the wall because I didn't really have like big rooms way back. So I don't know, that there's something, I don't know, probably because, well, I started as I'm with a religious family as well, so stories and all that.
Mhm.
So I'm not really comfortable having my back on the open side of my bed, if you know what I mean. And there's something wrong, not something wrong, there's something about big rooms and you being alone in it, especially if it's not well lit. Even if it's well lit. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. Probably because you were subconsciously expecting that a room like this should be occupied by not just one person, and if you put Filipino superstition and religion
Together.
together, without you physically seeing another body on that particular room, gives you, what do you call that? It gives you this particular feeling that maybe something is, because again, big rooms like that should not be occupied by just one person. I know this is me,
Right?
right? Right, Tito Ron, is probably watching. Who's the guest? Everyone. Right. Tito Ege will be joining us in a bit. He's just finishing a movie with the family. Oh, we can't have him jump out of that. Also, happy birthday to Gino Lim Lopez, Ray Gannon, and Stacy. You guys have anyone to greet? Guys?
Still here.
Tito Dan, you have like scary stories to share? Or...
No. Tita Senki story's enough though. Yeah.
But the link that you sent me though, Aswang is real. After taking this video,
Oh yeah.
nagsinalasa lang ang tanan kay nakita ng aswang 3 houses away lang nga nagapanago sa puno sang ita. For real, ang bahala kamo kung wala kamo yaga pati sa aswang. That's from Purok Masinadjang Barangay Ginhalaran, Silay City.
It was just like last night, I guess.
Yeah,
Have you seen the video?
Yeah, it was posted 19 hours ago. I haven't seen the video because it's the audio will be translated.
Oh, there
to,
you go. Yeah.
So I'll try to watch it later. But I don't know. Speaking of Aswang, Tito Zenk, since we're on the pre-colonial superstition religion, Tito Dan and Pao, Pao is probably shivering right now. He's not into scary things. I remember him watching me play Resident Evil, and he asked me to stop. During my during my 034 stream. 034. Again, speaking of 034 gaming, Rafael Cueva of DVJ Vermilion is back streaming because he's quarantined in Manila, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys are into Tekken 7, this is the guy to watch. He does fundamentals on most Mishima players, and got pretty excited because of the Mishima updates that happened last 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so again, you're still here with Rekindle PH online in preparation for Quarantine by Rekindle PH happening on Saturday, and we're testing our low register volume on the stream. Just make sure that we get everyone's register once we go online on Saturday. Right, and we're doing scary stories. So if you guys have scary stories to share, let us know. We'll have you jump in, or if you have like an article that you want us to read. Just like what Tito Dan did with Aswang is Real in Silay City, that would be awesome. Okay, anyway, going back to pre-colonial Aswang, or even during colonial period with the Aswang. Remember when the Spanish government actually used the concept of Aswang to what do you call that? To halt the the rebellion groups to not go out at night.
Yes.
Right, so let me see if I can find our
I heard of that. I actually read about that. Sorry for cutting you off.
Go.
But I think I think it's effective in a sense because even before pre-colonial Philippines, we believed in Aswang, we believed in Bakunawa and monsters and stuff like that. We had our own folklore, and the Spaniards, the archaic terms use that. the Spaniards use that against us because us Filipinos, even though the old Filipinos adapted the Catholic religion, we were still we were still anchored on our pre-colonial mentality and pre-colonial beliefs, and I think that was effective.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think I don't know, for some with what Tito Dan actually had said, I think it's a good way to actually have kids home. When the sky goes dark, I think there's a way of having them stay at home. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, having kids stay at home.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like against this as well.
Go, 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 go.
Because I guess here's the thing, I'm just gonna chip this in because I'm like, I'm a graduate of psychology, and this whole scare tactic is not really ideal for kids if you want to discipline them. Because you're building up trauma. You're building up trauma, and everyone's just gonna be like, every kid will have this irrational fear of something that does not exist.
Right.
It may exist, yes.
Oh, the creaky door. What's
Oh
that?
my god,
Sorry.
that actually woke me up. Oh my
Oh,
god.
Jesus Christ.
Go on, Tito Zank. I'm sorry.
Alright, big shout out to Tito Ron who's playing Prince of Persia right now, but our background music is blending with the game. Awesome.
Go ahead, Tito Zank. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You know what? That added effect to the whole thing, which is great, by the way.
I know, and
Anyways.
we were talking about effects on the stream as well, so I'm not really quite sure if Zach actually had it figured out. It's because I can't do it here. Because if I'm gonna do it here, it's only me and the listeners who can what's that? Who can
I love that.
who can hear it?
yes.
But if it's from Tito Jack, we might be able to hear it. Ron, bad word na portahan to.
But we're dupertando. Oh my god.
Because I can't. He said pots.
You're also streaming on Facebook?
Uh-huh.
You're also oh really? I didn't see the notification.
What notification?
Oh, you're not streaming on Facebook anymore? Or
I am. It's in YouTube. But it's in YouTube Live, so we're just saying it through Facebook. But the messages are coming in privately. Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Anyways,
Going back,
continuing.
I totally agree with Tito Zank about the trauma thing, about the being a
Yeah,
kid,
because
being
you're
frightened.
So I'm the
into
bad
something
guy
that
now.
doesn't exist.
Kidding. Go.
No, listen. It's like, instead of doing or actually disciplining. So this is the word. Instead of doing the actual effective way of discipline or talking to your child, properly. If they do, if they can communicate, if they can talk to you, whatever, you can reason with them, and they understand things. They're like sponges. They understand that. But if you give them something to fear for, they will start fearing for a lot of things. So they will associate aswang to the night, aswang to darkness, aswang to cold weather or cold temperatures. It's everything that will be associated to aswang.
Right.
Messy hair, pale woman, skinny woman.
I know.
They will just have that sort of fear when they grow up. So this fear would sometimes turn into something else. It would be
Right.
disdain or just outright hatred towards this sort of type of person or this sort of type of ambiance or weather.
Right.
I hate the weather. I don't like this cold. I don't like the lights. It's so dark in here.
Right.
Why? Kind of thing like that.
I remember when Filipino films started to give out like a good picturesque representation of what an aswang is during a day, like an old woman, long hair, and then I don't know if you guys can still remember when you got when some of your friends would actually see like that particular image of an old woman. They normally shout aswang, aswang. It's really crazy.
And it's partly it's also the media's fault as well.
Yeah.
But I can't really blame them. It's mostly the parents as well. Like, oh, look at that. She's that little aswang on in this movie, and you know what? This is what they actually look like. It creates a discriminatory image for the child that when they grow up, they will not like women with super wrinkly faces and crooked bodies, and it's just like it's against our or my advocacy, your advocacy with humanism.
Right.
So
I'm the bad guy, yeah.
No. But yeah, I guess it's for me. I guess
Uh-huh.
if the child shows interest in scary stories, like
Yeah, they
they
should.
have
Yeah,
understanding of what scary stories are, and that they know that most of these are not true,
or
most of these
fictional.
are
Yeah,
fake, fictional. Yeah, it's sometimes these are just urban legends and folklore that there is part of them that has a little bit of truth in it, but it's just like what's this?
they probably got
Overplayed,
exaggerated or
exaggerated, overplayed, and just
that's true.
people adding, like taking this with a grain of salt. Everyone just added spices to it, basically, in this
Right.
whole pot of story. So for me, if the child gains interest with the horror genre, horror stories and stuff, I'll let them have a little bit of taste of it.
Right.
But don't really just like inculcate in their minds that everything is scary.
True. True.
That ruins the curiosity of a child and how they would develop in later on.
Right.
Yeah, that's my opinion on that.
All right. Speaking of scary, Tito Wem can't join us tonight. He doesn't have connection at home. Um, because one of the best storyteller that I have on my friends list would probably be Tito Wem. Uh, and speaking of scary, Angel just sent me a link to be a Pornhub model. Um, from Tito Aggie. Christ. Why? Why would you? Right, going back to Aswang, here's an article by a news. Why do Filipinos still believe in? I'll try to read it. Hopefully, give justice. I'll probably yeah. It's important. So, Filipinos are familiar with the Aswang, a shape-shifting creature of Philippine folklore that preys on animals and humans at night. But while Filipinos believe in other superstitions was waned over the year, Filipinos' cultish devotion to the Aswang's existence seems strong. Why do people still believe in Aswang? This was tackled in a recent episode of I Wonder, a GMA News TV program that seeks to demystify various facets of Filipino folklore. So I'll try to give you guys the link first before I go on, so that at least you guys can follow as well if you guys want to, or if you're curious about the video that was. Bear with me. On the articles, right? So, moving on. Pre-colonial propaganda. Ancient cultures developed superstitions explain human behavior and natural phenomena that they couldn't understand. Today, experts offer sociological and scientific explanation for why some people may have been labeled as aswang. According to Professor Anthony Lim, a historian, the various definitions of aswang have been around for hundreds of years. Dinala ng mga sinaunang malay noong 1200s ang paniniwala natin sa mga aswang, he says. Ang term na aswang ay mula sa aso, wang, dahil ang kadalasang anyo nito ay aso. Spanish friars arrived to evangelize the Philippines. They spread propaganda about indigenous strategy for converting natives to Catholicism. Anything the friars didn't understand was deemed unchristian and evil. In his written accounts of pre-colonial Philippine culture, the transition friar historian Juan de Asensia, Spanish missionary during the late 1500s, listed the folkloric creature named by the church in the League the Devil. There's a picture of how Aswang looks like. Long tongue, on all fours, dog-like features, furs, and all that, right? So in pre-colonial Philippines, the leader of a barangay was called a babaylan. The babaylan was an important leader in the responsible for healing the sick and communicating with the spirits. Said that Catholic authorities accused priestesses of being Wang who will go to the babaylan for treatment. This said Brian Argus, the curator of the Rojas Museum, 2009 interview for the foreign produced documentary. the Aswang phenomenon. You guys might want to check that out as well. It's an awesome documentary. So the Spaniards, in order to get clients for their modern medicine, attached the Babaylan. The Spaniards also used Aswang myth to suppress political dissent. Lots of upheavals happened in the town of Capiz, said Argus. Women led these attacks usually at night because they had no modern weapons. Spaniards then told the natives that the women were evil, that they performed magical acts, and that women were Aswang. The natives avoided these women, and now they had no one to join their upheavals. Social control. But why were women in particular the targets of Spanish oppression? Clinical psychologist Leo I'm not really quite De La Cruz, not sure how to, but explains that strong women were considered threats to religious authority. Sa behavior ng isang tao, kapag perceive kang hindi normal o may kakaiba sa iyong kinikilos, madalas iniisip ng iba na may mali sa'yo, said De La Cruz. Ito na nga ang nagiging cause ng label sa mga pinaghihinalaang aswang. Ang image kasi natin sa mga babae ay yung mahinhin, adds sociologist Clifford Soreta. So kapag nagpakita ng kalakasan ng isang babae, ordinary sa kulturang label na. Thus women had to be suppressed into Clara mold. They were literally demonized. Last part of the article actually is a long article. No. Sorry. Those were comments. Appeal of authority. Filipinos' strong oral tradition and respect for elders' authority are two more reasons for their persistence. Not unusual for Filipino parents, grandparents to use stories about aswang from wandering off at night. That's what we were talking about earlier. You always hear it from someone old enough to tell you that they've experienced what they've experienced in the past. I always had this feeling that they're just telling stories. Because he's an old man or woman, they must be telling the truth. We'll talk about that later on as well. Said actress Maricel Soriano, who was also interviewed for the documentary The Aswang Phenomenon, because Maricel actually had a lot of Aswang films with. The actress starred in the 1999 film Sa Piling ng Mga Aswang, which was shot. Here's a trivia for you guys. Sa Piling ng Mga Aswang was shot somewhere in Murcia. Anyways.
It's always Murcia.
Yeah. We may never know for certain whether these creatures are real or not, but whether or not you believe on the smart thing to keep wondering. Billion. That was from I Wonder, that aired 10 p.m. Way back. Every 10 p.m. way back. Right, and I've set the link on our Facebook. I'm sorry, YouTube channel. You guys might want to check that out. There are pictures and video. Right. So yeah. Going back. Do you guys think that the Aswang control, let's call it Aswang control,
Controls like hypnotize?
Yeah, not really. Aswang, you know how the Aswang concept was used to control Filipinos was like anti-feminist, or Zenki, this is your forte.
Sorry. You guys cut out at that part. What was the question?
Do you think that when the Spaniards used the Aswang propaganda, it was most likely anti-feminist? Because they normally have they normally tag females rather than males. We lost Senki.
I think she got off.
Nick, are you talking? We can't hear you. I'm seeing you register, but no sound coming from you.
Actually,
Now you're cutting off.
She's cutting off.
Yeah. You might want to try to rejoin Zenk. Right, Tito Ron, Bumblecow most likely, yeah. But it's somewhere there. It's there. And I think guys, Don Hilario was in it. So they're one of the films that you guys might want to check as well while you're under quarantine. Classic Filipino horror movie, killer movie.
What about shake, rattle, and roll though?
And shake, rattle, and roll. There was this Manananggal episode with Herbert Bautista that really scared me. I don't know if you
Okay,
guys.
I'm back.
Okay,
Right
she's
there.
back.
Sorry, what was your question again? I was like, what's going on?
How much sugar do you put
On your
on your? How many licks would it get? No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
Do you think that the Spaniards were using the, how the Spaniards used the aswang propaganda was more of an attack to like like feminism or more like
At first,
anti-feminism?
I really didn't believe in that because back then I wasn't really.
Think
I think
you're cutting off again.
Some intermittent problem with
What's
connection.
wrong?
Connection again?
Okay, there.
There?
Yeah. I hear you.
Okay, am I still cutting out now?
No.
Okay, now good. I think when I was like, I think before it wasn't really an attack to the feminism in the Philippine culture, because at first that's what I actually originally heard or believed, that the whole aswang propaganda is against the the revolution, or the Filipino revolution, against the Spaniards. But when I was looking into it, when I was like checking out articles and stuff, just skimming through that and the history of the Philippines, that I found out that the Philippines pre-colonial was mostly matriarchal, and the Spanish friars was like, oh my God, why do you allow these women just gallivanting around with their tits out? And
True.
why would you allow these women to rule you men?
Right.
They really didn't accept that, as most colonizers didn't really like that, because the Inuit tribe is matriarchal. The natives of United States back then, of America, was also matriarchal. Africa, different tribes were matriarchal, basically. So as I looked further into that, I was like, oh, this is actually making sense, that they were using this against women who were strong, independent, and stuff, to like paint them in a different picture, that she's independent, she lives alone. Guess what? She's an aswang.
Right.
It's also similar to what happened back in the United States, after the first the first batch, I would call that, the first batch of Europeans moved into the United States, or the New World. So what I heard from the Lore podcast is that women who decided to just live alone, women who decided to do things on their own, start this and that on their own without the help of a man, she was painted as a witch.
Wow.
Like so if you're old and you are living alone, you don't need help from any man, you're a witch. If
Right.
you're a young woman and you're independent and you are good with your finances, if you are good with your fashion and stuff, you're beautiful and whatever, you will be painted as you are a witch.
Right.
You put a spell on yourself to make yourself look younger, so that or you're a man eater, basically. So it's kind of like the whole. A lot of men were just scared of the Filipino women, the Filipinas back then. That she's a strong babaylan. Our term for babaylan is healer, leader.
Right.
Now, when these Spaniards came here, they gave it a different meaning. So they, how like language evolves over time, they just gave the idea that babaylans are witch doctors. So when you remove doctors, it's just a witch. If you remove the witch, they're doctors, they're healers. But if you put two together, it's still negative, because it's a witch doctor.
Right.
still a negative connotation there, a witch. So I believe that it's just propaganda against strong women, or basically the female leaders
Right.
of the Philippines, at the time.
And I think one of the reasons that they actually did not attack the other gender, or I mean the male.
The other gender.
No, that's yeah. Let me correct that. Like the male gender is that most of them, or most of the people who colonized way back, are like most of them would probably be, or probably all of them are males. So once they attack the male species, you say that, they have the chance of it backfiring rather than
Yeah.
females being tagged as that. Right, so you guys are still with Rekindle page online, and this is a test for low register for the upcoming event Quarantine by Rekindle page. We're gonna take a short break with music from local artists, and then we're gonna go back with an article, and we're gonna try to read a couple of snippets or articles from Rappler called "Spooky School Stories in the Philippines," University of Saint LaSalle. I'm gonna leave you with a day in the life of a spare tire by Nancy Brew. So you guys tune in. If you have requests, let us know. See you in a bit.
not today. Sometimes I wonder if you feel the same way. You see no actions, just the words you say. Oh, 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 oh. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's no good for me. But whenever I close my eyes, it's you I see. It's sad to say that I'm making our own way. I could let it go, just not today. Not today. Just not today.
Alright, guys, so that was a day in the life of Spare Tire with Nancy Brew and Not Today, the second song by And. And a big shout out to our friends from Storm Tattoos, of course, who just joined us. Tito Brab of Godline Tattoos. Yes, we're doing this because we don't have event venues. And we want to keep safe. Right, Egg is going to be joining us in a bit, I hope. He's done with the films. And Tito Pao has just realized that we are live. Right? Again, we are live from Rekindle page online, and this is our a little movement to keep you guys at home or accompany you guys at home while we're going the community quarantine, of course, as proclaimed by our local government. And don't forget, Monday, March 30th, we're gonna go to a more enhanced community quarantine. So I hope you guys should keep safe, running your errands, running your right.
All right, guys.
Right.
Hello.
Tito Martin is actually setting up his studio as well for his live. I think. In murals, right? And John or Dinatiel, yes. Once the video ends and is processed, you can go back on, right? Who else did join us? Have Joven excuse himself because he doesn't want to play the scary atmosphere bed. Right. According to Zeki, it's too loud. According to Eggy, it's just okay. So I'm gonna go for the mid volume on that.
The middle ground. Okay.
Right. Again, we'll be playing some local Macau music. So let us know if you have requests. Leave a comment on our YouTube. What call that? YouTube
channel.
YouTube channel, YouTube Live, and we have Tito Pao. Probably
So-
just woke up. Probably did not even listen to some of the scary stories we did earlier.
Hey.
There we go. Let's see. Tito Brian. Wala ko maybe. Alright, that's fine, that's fine. Just let me know if you still wanna go in. You have the link anyway. Right. Again, this is a test run for Quarantine by Rekindle page that's gonna be happening on Saturday, and we have a Quarantine by Rekindle page on Spotify, a list of all the local bands and tracks that we have been playing for the past couple of days. Right. And going back to our topic, scary. Tita Zenki, do you wanna do the honor in
Reading the first story.
reading some of the short stories, and we'll probably ask Tito Pao and I know Dan as well to read. Oh, BRB. Manawag ko ana yung mga Spanish.
Look.
All right,
Why
then
would you-
Zenki, if you're ready.
All right. Anyways, all right. Thank you, Jarek, for this opportunity. Charot. Anyways, just to have a little light stuff, you know, I'm just gonna add in charots in here because I know some people are listening. Anyways, these are what's this? Collected stories, collected horror stories from the University of Saint LaSalle in Bacolod City. So, the first one is Santuario de la Sal. Sorry, I can hear myself in the background.
Ay,
Sorry. Anyway, Santuario de la Sal. So the place is a retreat house for students who have overnight activities or recollections. Once, a student was having her recollection in the basement. The facilitator at the time dimmed the lights for a moment of silent reflection. And as students closed their eyes in silence, one girl in the class heard muffled crying to her right. Believing it was one of her classmates, she didn't mind it. Once the lights flickered on, though, she realized that no one was seated on her right side. Another story was told by a senior high school student who had a spooky encounter during a speech choir practice a little after sunset in the same place. Her classmates were practicing at the back part of the house. Being the leader of the group, the senior high school student was the only one facing her classmates. She looked behind her to check the manila paper where the lines were, and upon turning back to her classmates, she noticed a small child with seemingly blurred and indistinguishable face in the group. She pointed it out to her peers, and her class suddenly ran next to her, realizing there was no kid in the vicinity. Immediately after, the group was hit by a chill breeze, and they hurriedly left. Paranormal, yes, stuff paranormal. I think it's because when someone's dead, it's like they're cold. I don't know. I'm just being silly here, but what? Oh my god. I'm gonna slap you. Seriously. Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what? Speaking of cold, I will just tell you this. Because I work in a hospital, so I travel from my city to where it is. It's like kind of like a 30-minute, not really that far. It's just like a 30-minute, 25-minute if the jeepney is really fast. Travel to where I work at. So like since Monday and today, it's just literally cold. I mean, sorry. I mean, it's Filipino standard type of cold, where it's just like cold breeze and there's just not a lot of people. There's not a lot of jeepneys and buses and all other forms of transportation. It's just freaking cold. And to and I was like, I already just started thinking this is an apocalypse. This is like the beginning, the prequel of every blockbuster zombie movie, you know. So it was just cold. Um, so on my travel to my work office, usually at around, I mean work, you know, hospital, usually at around 7 a.m. It's already like starting to get warm. You know, like that 7 a.m. warmth that you know everyone likes. It was non-existent. I
Okay.
think I think it's because partly it's contributed by human heat. I don't know,
Hmm.
human body heat. You know, and just you know the bustle and the hustle of everyday life, and because of the whole community quarantine and stay at home culture that they imposed, everyone was just like staying in their houses and they're avoiding public spaces, and it's just recently been just so cool and cold and so windy and stuff
Right.
that maybe most of us like have associated the cold to or this or scary stuff. We associate that with, oh, this is cold. This
Right.
scary stuff is cold. It's cold weather,
Right.
you know.
Ito, Vincent Games, Vincent Baez, joined us. And for those who thought that the stream got cut off, I apologize. This is the problem I'm having when I have everything on software. I got myself on mute. But anyways, the track earlier was from Nancy Brew, A Day in the Life of a Spare Tire, and the other was Not Today by And. Thank you so much for letting me know, Tito Ron. Right, and what else do we have? Shout out to Rosario Heights. Right, so we were talking about why, as what Zenki was explaining earlier, we were talking about, I actually asked her why like cold air or chill breeze are incorporated with paranormal activity. Right, so I'm gonna do the honor of reading the shorter article on the article, a snippet, right? This is from the Spooky Stories of the Philippines, University of St. La Salle edition from Rappler. Westerhall. There have been grim warnings that one should toughen up when going to the comfort room alone. When leaving, make sure that nobody is following you because a doppelganger might begin to make a scene elsewhere, startling anyone that you know. The so-called doppelganger appears to be trudging slowly as if it were a zombie, but once you lose sight of it, it can disappear in the blink of an eye. Passerby also report hearing aggressive typing on the keyboard from any of the CSL laboratories, especially when the room is not in use and people are scarce. Fine. Right. Zenki, wanna give them like a brief description of what a doppelganger is?
Uh, uh, Brief description. It's a double body.
Right.
It's literally the German term. Doppel is double.
Uh-huh.
Ganger is basically the body
Okay.
or person. So it's basically your double body. And since then, since when it, you know, people heard of it, it's just been like, oh, I saw a doppelganger of you. That's it. And everyone just like connected, you know, scary stories to that.
Right. It's actually an apparition or double of a living person, is what Tita Zenki said. But are you guys familiar that they said that when you actually come face to face with your doppelganger, one of you will die? One of you should die. Something like that.
I don't. Okay, maybe I heard that differently. What I heard was that if you came face to face with your doppelganger, you might die because your doppelganger is a spirit.
Okay. And he's gonna take over the body and
take over the life and the identity of this person.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I will be explaining a little bit more. I will be talking a lot. I'm sorry, Jarek, but
go.
So basically, or you might experience a change of fate. You might have like an accident. You might lose a hand or something, kind of like that.
Okay.
Just tragedy.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, which I think is like it's connected, the folklore behind this doppelgangers that it came from the idea that, for example, I'm just going to give you an example. Like, for example, Jarek, you are normally a talkative person. You're normally really happy around
I'm
your
not.
friends. Yes, you are. I'm not going to argue with you. You're normally like very lively towards your friend. You joke around, things like that. So that is who you are as a person, and that is who you are, and that's what we identify you as. Now, you know how like in most common stories that your doppelganger is actually the opposite of you. So that, oh yeah, I saw you the other day, and I was like trying to talk to you, and you just looked at me like I was someone that you didn't know. It was like, and you stared at me blankly, kind of like that. So that when, if ever it happens that you get to meet your doppelganger, you get to face with that entity, you might die, and they will switch over your life, and everything is a change. It's not you, because the person that people see you as is a different person, because you're not your same talkative person ever. It's not the fun person that you ever again, kind of like that. So psychologically speaking, I think it's like it's how back in the olden times or in Middle Ages that they would use this explanation that the person has changed completely. You know how like when a person is depressed, their personality changes. They're always so angry. They lose their interest with the things that they used to like. Um, it's completely like the whole opposite version of you. So yeah, back in the Middle Ages, that's how they just explain that the person has changed. Oh, it's his doppelganger. Actually, it's not him. It's his other him, basically.
Yeah.
So that's bad, in psychology, basically. But I like how in folklore, you just a lot of people use this folklore as to explain uh, psychological effects, psychological changes of a person. And it's actually a spirit. It's a different entity. It's not him.
Right.
She will,
Right.
kind of like that. That's it.
Funny though.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not talkative. Anyway.
Yes.
Right, so I think we have Tito Eggy on the other line. And of course, we're still joined by Pao and Toto Dan, who gonna be back in a bit. Right? And some of our friends are channeling in. Of course, Tito Ron is online listening, and monitoring as well. Tito Martin might join us in a bit. Reb of Gold Line Tattoos and Tattoos also tuning in. I'm not sure if TL is still tuning in. Who else do we have? Gian all the way from Escalante. And probably a couple more guys. Right. Anyway. Right. So you're still tuned in to Rekindle PH Online, and our
He is readying his mic.
I know. All right. So room S37. Who wants to do this? Third article.
Well, third snippet actually. So
Snippet. Sorry.
Tito Eggy, are you gonna go for it?
Don't know how to.
You don't know how to read? What?
How dare you?
Medyo hinay ka. Wait.
Yeah, he's kind of low.
Dito the mic mo bi Tito Egg.
Yo.
Hinay ka po no.
I turned you up like around 120 now. Yeah.
Nakaanta ka diya.
Sure.
Sige ba?
Hello.
All right, there.
Good enough.
Later. Right, so room S37. You wanna do this, Zank?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll do it. Okay. I don't know how rooms are in University of Singapore, but anyways, I'll try my best. Room S37, located at the far corner of the Solomon Building's third floor. Room S37 is known to have a resident child that apparently likes attending class there, although teachers who hold class there say they've yet to see a kid sitting in class themselves. Rumor has it, though, that During one sighting, a female senior high school student saw the child at the back of her class, and after blinking, the kid disappeared. She vaguely remembered the child staring right back at her before vanishing. She says that the sighting caused her a severe migraine afterwards. Others have reported similar instances, but the spirit has apparently come forth in the form of a teenager as well, tricking the new senior high school students to think that it was just a classmate. Rumor has it that the spirit was a senior high student who committed suicide because of a recurring abuse. Dun dun dun.
Horror stories with Tito Zenki.
Oh. Oh, so you did that. You literally did that. Oh my god. Very nice. I'm not really sure because in this snippet here, it was not really mentioned whoever it was because the resident child, and then it was just a teenager. Nobody really mentioned a gender or sex basically. Jun Jun.
Jun Jun.
Oh, I like. No. Let Eggy do the thing. Let Eggy do the
Jun
thing.
Jun don't stand, ha?
Jun Jun. Most of them
Yes.
have Jun Jun stories.
Right.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
He is.
Some say Jun Jun follows you.
Oh my.
Yeah. Every call center.
Every call center.
On call centers.
Converging.
CVG.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
Every in Manila as well. I heard a bit as well. It's like it's like a call
Now
center.
say it slowly. Now say it slowly. Jun Jun all over.
COVID-19 all over the Philippines. Oh my god. Junjun conspiracy. Did you? Medical stuff. All right, thank you for that. I just want to add up a little bit of the Junjun, thing. It's like the Junjun.
Junjun.
Yeah, I think it's a call center.
I keep
culture.
muting my mic. Sorry guys, for those who are listening online. Sorry.
It's I think it's a Filipino thing that most Filipinos, despite us, being spiritual and supernatural and stuff like that, we also like to make fun of a lot of things, and we like to make things heavy topics or scary stuff like this, just a little lighter for us to accept and stomach basically. So we just give them a nickname. It's Junjun, and then they
Right.
would make fun of it. Junjun took my Tumblr, bro. It's like, oh
Right.
my god, Junjun is a thief. Like everyone would just make jokes about it when in actuality it's kind of like it bothers a lot of people, that there are spirits and stuff like that.
Do you
And
guys,
that.
do you
Yeah, go
guys,
ahead.
do you guys think like younger millennial or I still believe paranormal?
Yes.
They still
Yes.
do.
Yeah, they still do.
A lot of I mean I'm not really a lot. I mean,
But
Not
not,
really
but
from
not
a lot.
compared to how we believed it like way back because we were literally disciplined using those.
Yeah,
Yes,
we were brought up to
we
believe that.
literally brought up to believe that. You're right, Eggy. That was our that's the fear factor that we experienced when
Right.
we were younger. And you know how, like, I don't know if you remember this, but when I was in elementary, when we would have sometimes recess or lunch breaks, um, some of my friends or a classmate would like, let's go to this part of the school that is eerily silent and no one really visits here. You know, this is where this is where the nun had died. And those little kids
Right.
just make up stories like that.
Right.
And so, like be us being elementary students, grade school students, curious and whatnot, we'd go there. We're scared, but we'd still
Right.
go there.
Right.
And in high school reunions and stuff like that, I remember that, before going to bed, we would just share a story or two about about the school and any scary experience. And like, even every November, the whole All Souls Day, All Saints Day kind of stuff, families would share scary stories.
Right.
I don't know if you guys would experience that, but as for me, in my side of the, in my neck of the woods, that was my experience basically. We were just like the whole horror story, scary stories, just like part of me when I grew up.
I think it's a big part of the all of storytelling, your story. Not just again, as what brought up by how we were colonized, how we were brought up in religion. Right. The reason I asked why younger millennials or do they still believe paranormal, that skepticism had been going around,
Getting more attention,
getting more
basically.
attention. I was just wondering, it would be fun if we can actually invite someone who can talk about it. But
Generation Z's, yes.
yeah, right. Hopefully on the 28th, or probably another time, we could probably do this again. Definitely during Halloween, if we don't have an event for reading or storytelling, for the people who actually live. Again, for those who you're tuned in with Rekindle Page Online with Tito Aggie, Tito Zenki, Pao, who's taking care of the cat again, the pussy, and the beast is Toto Dan, who's actually working working at home, calling our colonizers. Right. Right. Again, if you guys want to join in, let us know. But like songs or chat, our chat section on our YouTube video channel. What?
Go click the
YouTube video
link.
chat. Great.
YouTube Live.
And again, we'll be playing a couple of local music as well along the way. Not really a couple. Local music from Bacolod, from as we go along. Right. Next story is IS covered court. I'll cover this thing since I been there a lot when I was still playing volleyball.
Oh God, you know this. You know this very well. Okay.
I hope so. I hope so because I'm not around IS covered court because there's a lot of people there all the time.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good. Yeah, okay na ko. Ito Eggy said that I'm cutting off. Alright, so IS covered court. This one happened. Grade 7 students were allowed to play in the high school covered court for their PE class. In the middle of the period, one student went up to his teacher and told him about a minor leg injury he got while playing with other kids. The teacher then sent him to the clinic to be patched up. The class was about to be dismissed. The teacher asked if the kid who got injured was alright. No one in the class spoke up. After further thought, the teacher realized the boys in his class didn't match the face of the injured child. No other PE class was ongoing. At the time, the boy had the same uniform as the other kids. Throughout the rest of the school year, there had been oddly similar reports during various PE classes in the high school. The PE faculty is still at a loss as to what happened. As to what happened, there have been no reports in the clinic about a child with a minor injury during PE classes. Again, guys, this is an article from Grappler titled "Spooky Stories in the Philippines, University of St. Lasal Edition." Great. I don't know. I haven't really heard stories about that. Interesting. Most of the time, that particular place is packed. Interesting.
Well, I guess no. That happened like a few times.
Really?
I don't know. Well, some of my friends from that school mentioned stories like that.
Wow.
Maybe.
So what's his reason for like coming back? Because no one no one tended to his minor injury and died. Unfinished business.
Come on. Come on.
on. I don't know.
Come on, man. That's a joke.
Why my injury and died?
You in badum. I don't know. I have the effects, but you guys
Oh God.
are able to
I
correct
just
this.
I just realized you're fun. A minor injury because it's an elementary student.
Minor in what kind of minor injury?
A minor injury.
Right. The next or the last story is actually Galiaga Theater. So I leave that to you, Zank, because Tito Pao would like that.
Oh, this one. I've been to the Galiaga Theater before. I like that.
Pero
So,
na-experience nyo, why pa?
Wala pa. Okay, let me just share the story first, Tito Pao, and you can tell us what you think about it. All right. Galiaga Theater, named after renowned Filipino filmmaker Peque Galiaga. The theater is home to high-caliber plays, and if the stories are to be believed, paranormal forces. AB communication students are familiar with the theater's eerie vibe. An alumna once recounted how she witnessed her classmate opening the rear door one morning. She asked him about preparations to make, but he didn't respond and absent-mindedly went inside. This intrigued her, and so she followed him through, scouted around the place in order to confront him. To her shock, nobody was inside except her. If it were a prank, the guy would have found himself in a dead end since all the doors were locked. The alumna hurriedly exited the place and bumped into her real classmate, along with others who casually arrived at the scene, surprised that she seemed troubled. Yikes.
Tito Pao, you were mentioning that you have experience.
Mm. Ang piano is actually an
Experience mong piano.
Yeah, tell us about it.
How was the experience, pal?
Ano pa, okay, ang soft mo ng mga keys, pati ka na. Actually, inang lugar random na dabi nga duga tukar lang bulaw. Do may times na di hidra kami doon sa naghampang sa may kilid sa Galiaga. Do ka actually creepy gid man. Gamo na. Hindi mo man di siling na timing, pero actually may gatumpok balasang keys bulaw nga. Do ka ting tapos do ka mula na.
Do ka ano?
Hindi na pwede masulit kini na karon haladlokan.
Kedugay sulito na ni Tito Eggy. Ting with Tito Pao.
With Tito Pao.
Hindi ko, ginabaro ko. Thank you.
No, COVID-19 joke. Damn. But yeah, I heard also stories from some of my classmates. Some of my friends who is an alumna of LaSalle. That whole theater just reeked of paranormal activity and stuff. But they never really gave me a concrete story.
Oh, wala gid man actually sang concrete gid man.
it's just like, random experiences.
Pero amo naman gina-dare something sang una sang elementary nga do. Sige, be ko ni be.
Kadto to bed, like that.
Tapos may time na do may nabatian gid ko actually nga do katumok sang piano. Alam ko yung tao tong matumok gid para mag
Kaya natumukan magid.
base
Ka-echo.
alaga ko wow.
Nag-speaker ka mo.
Arna.
Hello? Buti
Ara.
ako gyud. Buti.
Ay, wait.
Ay, hala, wait, sorry. Paalak siya dahil.
Right, Martin Miravalis will be joining us in a bit. He's just taking care of his Discord and his login. Right.
And setting up. Okay.
Yes, he's setting up, and hopefully he can play a couple of songs that he can also check his studio system for his song. He probably want to go online as well. Right. So we're gonna look for more. It's not me. Not me. Wait.
Maybe it's you.
You're the one.
Oh my god.
I wonder who. Tita Zank?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that? Are you doing speakers? No.
I'm not doing speakers. Hold on.
Jack. Where's that coming from? Jack.
Me.
Yeah. It was from Tita Zank, I think.
Oh, is it from me? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my earphones 1 second.
Okay. Alright, while we're doing that, Tita Eggy, you have any scary story? From Boracay? No.
Boracay is good.
Boracay.
Nah, scary stories from them.
Right, so while Tito Martin is setting up, and we're still looking for more articles, since you guys are not sending in any, we'll try to look for more, and I think we have one from LCC this time. But we're gonna read that back to you once we're done with a couple of music from our local artists. Right. Next up, we have Lola Amor with Sanity. You're still tuned in with Rekindle PH online with Tito Pao, Tito Zenki, Tito Dan. I just said Tita Dan, and of course Tito Eggy. And stay tuned. Thank you for joining us.
Tell me what you want from me, cause I don't know what else to do. You used to got me on the lead, and these chains I can't break through. Cause I know that you're gone, but your spirit lives on in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. And I know if I don't move on, I can't keep this up longer. It's eating away at me. I'll say goodbye to my sanity. Doing fine. You still got a grip on me. Damn woman, why won't you send me a sign? Damn woman, got me so blind that I can't see. But your games won't work on me no more, no. Cause ever since you left, I've not known which way to go. So tell me what you want from me, cause I don't know what else to do. Got me on a leash, and these chains I can't break through. Cause I know that you're gone, but your spirit lives on in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. And I know if I don't move on, I can't keep this up longer. It's eating away at me. I'll say goodbye to my sanity. tell me what you want from me, 'cause I don't know what else to do. You still got me on a leash, and these chains I can't break through. 'Cause I know that you're gone, but your spirit lives on in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. And I know if I don't move on, I can't keep this up longer. It's eating away at me. I'll say goodbye to my sanity.
Raise your head up high to the sky. You're beautiful. Broken wings will heal in time. You're beautiful. It's okay to cry. Things will turn out fine. I'll be by your side. Let's fly. We're beautiful. Today may bring negativity, a total loss of positivity, and a healthy lack of tranquility. Ooh, I think about tomorrow's possibilities, endlessly flowing to infinity. Embrace this life in its simplicity. Oh, when there's doubt inside your head, and you feel like things are hanging by a thread. When they leave you high and dry, pick the pieces up and rise. 'Cause soon enough, the sun will shine and light the way for you and I. Oh, you're beautiful. Raise your head up high to the sky. You're beautiful. Broken wings will heal in time. You're beautiful. It's okay to cry. Things will turn out fine. I'll be by your side. Let's fly.
Yo, rise, beautiful, 'cause you bring light in the night, extending rays of positivity that shine so bright. You are a miracle, a gift to show the world what you got. With your talents and your set of skills, you burn so hot. Like a phoenix that rises from the ashes to be reborn. Ricochet to the sky, now they can stop you when you're airborne. Be different like a flower when it blooms. You gotta aim for the stars and shoot for the moon. Now we rise when they see us falling flat to the ground. We rise when they say words that bring us down. We rise 'cause we're beautiful with our heads up high. We rise in this life as we fly to the sky.
When there's doubt inside your head, and you feel like things are hanging by a thread, when they leave you high and dry, pick the pieces up and rise. 'Cause soon enough, you see the sun and light the way for everyone. Oh, we're beautiful. Raise your head up high to the sky. You're beautiful. Broken wings will heal in time. You're beautiful. It's okay to cry. Things will turn out fine. I'll be by your side. Let's fly. We're beautiful. Raise your head up high to the sky. You're beautiful. Broken wings will heal inside. You're beautiful. It's okay to cry. Things will turn out fine. I'll be by your side. Let's fly. We're beautiful. Yeah. Nobody gotta tell you what you can or cannot be.
Alright, guys, so that was Sanity by Lola Amor and this Rest Beautiful by Ojanova, and you're still in the Rekindle page online. Storytelling, their story we're getting. We're just getting article back to you guys. Background music. Right, and we're joined by again Tito Eggy. Moon Howlin is actually Tito Martin. Joining us as well. He's trying to figure out how to change the avatar. So we'll let him for now. Pao is there. Dan as well. Still calling our colonizers, and of course the Zenki is also here. Right. 1 second, checking my audio. Right. Right again. I think Tito Martin out. Right again, you're tuned in for one of our testing for what's happening on Saturday. Quarantine by Rekindle PH. We're bringing in poetry and music all the way to so that you guys stay home online, right? Right, and we also have the link for our Spotify playlist that was compiled by Kurt, Jack, Bobby, and George of Magic 106.3. So if you guys are interested, you can click on the link and listen to what we compiled for you guys. Great. So Tito Egg, you have scary stories for us?
No.
Right. Well, we're still waiting for
I'm
Zin.
looking for scary stories from.
All right. Awesome. But while we're waiting for Zenk, I'm gonna an urban legend. I'll see if I call it. But the URL is chris.free.wordpress.com. Right? Urban legend: the burnt man on the third floor. One of my teachers from the time spent. Call her Jenny. Told me classmates for high school. Jenny was a dedicated teacher and always asked for her students. Always considered it type of tough love. Jenny was never the type of teacher to idly by when a act of kindness to a lot of her. After one session, by to her final, I proceeded back to the faculty room. Halfway back, the faculty room, Jenny realized that she left something back on the room where she had tutored her students. Quickly came back to retrieve her stuff. As Jenny finally returned to the room to pick up her belongings, suddenly she notices a figure in the corner of her eye. Turns to face the figure. To her surprise, it was a man floating outside of the building. The man was staring at her, smiling. What was worse was the fact that the man's entire body was seemingly burnt. Jenny felt like screaming, but her body was frozen out of fear. Finally, she returned to her senses and ran out of the room and exited the building. Taken by this incident, Jenny. So who went to LCC, guys? Angel, have you heard of that story? Burnt man, third floor. Okay, she did. Pao?
Nope. Vincent is still there.
I'm not sure if Vincent is still. Probably. But Angel heard of the story. It's circulated. Is there an incident of let's try and there was an
Someone burning.
LCC burned, or if there was, I know there was an incident of a theater in front of LCC way back called Air Mall that was burnt, but
Yeah. The location for Dara Plaza.
Oh, okay. According to Angel, actually there was an LTC got burned. Some the materials were reused. Have you guys heard that there's theory that especially antiques, all that actually stores energy. Some of the they project an energy that some of us can actually. You guys heard of that? Thank you for answering. Let me see. Antiques and ghosts. Talking to myself.
I
Antique
just heard that water has memories.
water.
Has memories.
Really?
Yeah, from Frozen.
Oh, he just watched it. I haven't even watched the second yet, but I might. Right. Time check. 11:30 in the evening. So we have 30 minutes more before we end the stream, and we might probably be back tomorrow with Sir Jack and George and the rest of the guys. For you guys. So if you guys like the stream, let us know. Message us, comment on the room, and what else do you guys want from us? Any requests, we would gladly try and see. Right?
Aside from
Yeah, go, Tito Egg.
anything that excludes food and
What?
financial.
Yeah, of course. Anything that we can do online.
Yeah.
Actually, ask for. Actually, speaking of donations, we have like a tip page, but I'm not really gonna try to promote on our. They tip. Right? Yeah, here. So lifestyle dot collecting sticks or bringing them inside your house can be dangerous. You do not know their origin or why, because as I pointed out in the first part of this article, objects or the energy of its owner or the one who has held it, statues, medallions, or intentions performed or directed towards it. Interesting.
I guess people in the Philippines really believe in that.
Yeah. As what Enki and I were about earlier, well, is that we were brought up really.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Why I asked if millennials he actually still believes in such. Well, we don't have a representative for that. Tito Martin, but he's muted. Think.
Hi, I'm back.
All right, there you
Sorry
go.
about that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Do you have like any background
Yep.
noises?
Yep.
No,
No.
it's all good.
Oh, is it good now?
Good now. Good now.
But yeah, I don't know what I missed.
Nothing. There's nothing here actually.
We're all ghosts in here.
Right, and also Reggae Philippines United. There you go. It's an it's an Earth Hour live online Earth Day Reggae Jam. This is a COVID-19 awareness live streaming concert for our brethren and sisters who are staying at home. So featuring Budoy with Balandra Sound System of Cebu, Coley Herb of Metro Manila, Brown Buds of Bohol, Arts Truly, Cal Island of Bacolod, Inchi of Dumaguete, Verdas, General Santos, Nairud, Sawabad, Davao, and Sativa of Iloilo. That's gonna be happening on March 28th, 2020, 1 p.m. And you can check their Facebook page at facebook.com/reggaeph united. Right. Tito Martin. Brian can't join us tonight because he sanitized his whole apartment.
Oh.
Hopefully tomorrow we can have him with Jack and the rest of the guys. There's a request of doing bad jokes over the air. We would gladly what do you call that? Would
Accommodate.
accommodate that if we have contestant. So the Gian is asking for it. The Gian all the way from Escalante. So if we have Brian and Nathan on board, then we might be able to do that.
and Brian, he's the father of all bad jokes.
Except
I think someone. Okay, I think whoever's listening to me here right now, you're requesting for bad jokes just to give you a palate cleanser of all the horror stories. I understand that.
maybe. Joven did not. He's probably monitoring and checking if it's still scary or not. He hasn't replied anymore to. Right again. Speaking of chats, thank you so much for joining us, Vaughn, Joven, of course, Reb of Goldline Tattoos, and of course, Tito Vincent of Vincent Games. Actually miss playing games, but he's pretty much busy right now with work. Big time. Speaking of someone busy with work, shout out to Daniel Desena. You're probably listening. Hopefully, see the link. The guy is busy. I can't even ask him to. Well, not now, but I have been asking him to drink.
Yeah, he is really busy.
Right, and Tito Martin is still trying to figure out Discord, and he's not in the participants anymore. Again, there's also a request of local musicians doing an online jam session, so we might actually host that. I'm just waiting for Miguel to update me and who are the participants so that we can set up. Right. Zank, you have any article?
Sorry, I don't actually have an article to read. I haven't really found.
Or
a
do you
good-
have like a story? Aside
Sorry,
from the one that you did
COVID-19.
earlier. The COVID-19.
the COVID-19.
There's
case.
actually a page called Bacolod Horror Story. Or if we have.
One of my friends is interested in like compiling ghost stories that they experienced into one, but I haven't really caught up with her if she has continued with that. But I'll just continue sharing with the horror stories that I heard from the hospital. How everything is just like so horror here. Oh, that's so scary there. So horror.
Horror.
Oh, fuck. It's a horror, rat
Horror.
dog. But anyways, it's just like a compilation of experiences of the staff in the hospital. One of the admin officers in the office, she told us this experience that she had with one of the supply officers. She's already retired, but it was still in the same isolation area. Oh my god. That's where all the stories is from.
Okay.
But like I told you guys, how like the isolation area in the infirmary was never used for so long, and if it were used, it was only used by one or two people, or mostly just one person from the staff or from the hospital, as most of them would just choose to go to a private hospital. But anyways, now for this admin officer, I'm just gonna call her AO, and our supply officer SO. So AO and SO just was just like walking around the hospital, and they decided to go visit the infirmary. They were like, you know what? I'm always so curious about this, this infirmary, this famous infirmary. Why don't we go ahead and check it out so that we could, see what it looks like, kind of like that. That's what the AO said to the SO. So the SO was like, yeah, let's go ahead, let's do that. So they walked up there, and on the way there, the lights were already dim. So from one station to the other station, it was just from bright to dim light. And so the AO was like, you know what, this is a bad idea. my idea was bad. The SO was like, you know what, no, 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 so it's okay, it's fine, all's fine. Let's just go check it out. You know, it's good for us. And they did. So they went. They continued to go there, and then and you know how I told you guys that the the entrance to the isolation area is just like two large doors to to push, and it makes this really bad. I'm sorry, this really loud noise, creaking noise when you open it. So it was around that time that it just finished getting renovated and painted and stuff. That there was still no lights in there, no lights installed, no emergency lights installed as well. The AO was already like hesitating to open it, but the SO was like, I'm curious, I want to check this out. So she did. When she did, when she opened it, it was just a really dark hallway.
Okay.
It was just like really dark hallway, and um what my SO what the recalled was the feeling of getting sucked in. Like she just stood there, and the AO like a few inches away from her was like, "What are you doing? Why are you just standing there? You know, just let's go." The AO was already pulling the SO away, and this SO is a tiny woman. She's tinier than me, and she's skinnier. And the AO was a bit taller and more built.
Okay.
So she was pulling on this old lady. The SO, the old lady, was like, "Why are you so damn heavy? Let's go." She couldn't pull her away, so the AO started screaming, "Just fucking run!" So when the SO heard the scream, it kind of like snapped her back.
Yeah.
It snapped her back, and she let go of the large doors, and she also ran.
Okay.
So that's what it. That was their story. That was their experience. That it wasn't entirely like a ghost story. It was kind of like just like the creepy feeling that you're
Oh.
like what's ahead of you. It's like it's so pitch black. It just looked like it was like a black hole. You were just like getting sucked into it. It's inviting you to come in.
What's that called? There's a term for that. The feeling that if you're on a high place, you want to jump, or if you take a hole, you want to
Yeah,
go
there's a
in.
term for that.
I totally forgot. Jumping in a hole. Feeling.
Jumping in a hole. No, jumping in a hole, psychological phenomena.
Uh,
That's a psychological
Is
phenomena.
that the same with the moving car? Like
Yes.
when you-
That feeling that you want to jump.
Yeah, yeah.
this is where it's not here. The feeling of jumping. Wait on. Jump.
The urge to jump out
Uh,
of.
let's see. I think I have it. Study explains that sudden urge to jump from high place. Um. Um. The call of the void. There you go.
Call of the
Yeah.
void.
The other term is actually French. L'appel du. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. L'appel du.
Lapel
something.
du vide.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So the call of the void. Yeah. This is you're like far or in a hole or a high place. Go in,
Oh.
out.
I have I have this
Engage.
experience. I want to share this to you guys, but I think I was back in high school. I was sitting at the back of my dad's mini truck. The Rusco, the
Yeah.
common mini trucks. Sorry about my neighbor dogs. Anyways, I was just sitting at the back, and my dad was driving from our house on the way to our my aunt's house. And on the way, because he was running at a fair speed. It wasn't that fast. It wasn't that slow, but it was a fair speed. And I was
Right.
like looking down. I was like, this is I I feel like jumping. Why do I have this feeling of jumping? I was in high school, mind you. I was angsty and shit, and just a few meters away from reaching our aunt's house, I friggin' jumped. I literally jumped.
Wow. Then
Landed on my butt,
Okay.
luckily,
luckily.
and my dad was just panicking. Why the fuck did you jump from a running car? And I had that
Is that
experience.
the last time or
That was the last time. That was the first time and the last time that I had that feeling. So glad that was out of my system. But yeah, that is legit.
yeah. Wait. What's the code? If you avoid...
Friedrich Nietzsche. It's
okay.
if you look long enough in the abyss looks back at you.
Right there. Awesome. Brian might jump in. But we're ending exactly 12. Because some of us still has like
Sorry, what?
because yeah, we're ending the stream at around 12 because some of us have still still have things to do and like gaming.
Right?
Right. Or I don't know, tinker on things, learn things. And you're tuned into Rekindle PH Online. We're doing like a low register testing on our stream, and what better way to actually do low register testing but to talk about, right? So if you guys wanna have any suggestions of a topic that you guys wanna talk about, or the team would like to talk about, but if you're gonna join in, that would be better. Let us know. Message us, and inviting every performers, poet, musician, or even visual artists. If you guys want to join Quarantined by Rekindle PH, that's happening on the 20 a.m. onwards. Message our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/RekindlePH. And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram, but we don't normally. But we're there. Right? And we're also trying to launch our website hopefully on the 20th. Wait,
Nice.
on the 28th. Well, hopefully while we're running quarantine, we're almost done with the website with just some photos in there. A couple of pages from our local establishments gonna be there as well, especially from our partners. Great. I think we have let's just Brian. Not sure if he's singing or whatnot, but again, we're still joined by Tito Ege, of course, Tito Zenki, Tito Dan is there, and of course Tito Pao, who just sent us photo collage app for iPhone as a picture of Tito Kiri is, I think, Tito Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Oh my god, really?
Right. Again, we've read a couple of horror stories for University of Saint LaSalle and LCT, and also linked to on an article that says aswangs are real. Brian? Right there. No one. The void. The void.
I was gonna say the same thing.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Hello? So Brian.
Hello.
Type lang sa... Or sana. Kamusta? Akagagay.
Typer.
What's your type? I'm a typer.
Probably working, I know. Right, again on the 28th, guys. Don't forget 8 p.m. onwards, quarantine by Rekindle PH initiative that we thought of to keep you guys at home while the whole quarantine is while the quarantine is ongoing. There, right? He can't hear us?
Can you hear us?
What?
Hello? Bation? Bation kami?
Ano, Meg?
Oo, bation ka?
Hello?
Hello? Naka...
Do you wanna build a snowman?
Can you hear us?
Input device. Ooh. Testing.
Check mo audio video, be.
Hello, hello. Wala?
Hello, hello.
Kuba. I just trying to figure it out. Right, for those who are not familiar with Brian, Brian is the kung ako magdako guy during Rekindle runs.
Every Rekindle run.
Every Rekindle run.
Hello, hello.
Hello? Hello? In-mute the...
Nag-defen siya.
Kag-defen. Ang defen na muna akong dalom.
Magwa na ko. Bye guys.
We will be doing this up until Thursday, and Friday we're just gonna be doing testings offline, hopefully for our performance. And on the 20th, it's gonna be chance. Batian Takamuya sa YouTube.
That's delayed though.
Bation. Come on. But daw di mo batian. Effective hearing. But again, just reminding everyone, March 30th, or 30th of March, Monday, the local government or the LG doing enhanced quarantine. That's what they labeled it, aka the lockdown. Guys, go out
The lockdown.
if it's really important.
It reminds me of Shaina and John Lloyd.
What? Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, that's a bad joke. Lockdown.
That's some other lockdown.
Right, 10 minutes before
joke,
12, and still joined by Tito Aggie, of course. Brian is trying to figure things out. Martin there no more, but he's trying to figure things out as well. Pao, and Dan, and of course Zenki. Again, big shout out to all who joined earlier. Box with Bruce title tendency. No, it's not. Call of the Void. I just swiped. Can I request Momoland song? Momoland songs? No. Do we have like local Momoland songs? Bri?
I can do a cover for local Momoland songs. Could you consider it like local since
No.
Since you covered it. You'll be Korean, man. Korea.
Great. Anyway, yeah. While we're waiting for Brian and waiting for the stream, and but we're gonna leave you a couple songs after the stream ends. We're launching our website on the 28th as well. You'll see the history of how Rekindle was formulated, where is it now, and some photos of our arts in it. There, like Tito Aggie. It's all Tito Aggie. Right, again, big shout out to all event organizers who decided to cancel their events. Big props for you guys. Bri?
Tara na.
Bation kami?
Oh, batiyon ka, batiyon.
Okay, start na.
Clear, clear.
Hello, Brian.
Oh.
Hello. may horror story ka? Or makanta ka tonight?
horror story.
Oo.
Tapit na lang galing mag-time. Yan, ako na panumduman.
Sige be, sige
Galing
be.
no ka serious, ganyan ka ganyan. Sige nyo, tingnan natin, basi magubab
Hindi nga, sige na.
lang, ano. Pa,
Sige
dumdum
na.
ka tabla sa opisina, tapos ang una, Jack.
Sa diin.
Di ba kadulog? Yung sa, ano bala, lapit sa may Gaisano City.
Tapos.
Oo. Di mga ano, tumutungang gabi. Kita mo naman to sa aton sa una nga kung... Di ba may shift na to nga kita lang? Lawik wala
Ay,
ka,
oo.
wala ka report ang piyak.
Oo, okay, kita lang.
Di kundi ang CR ato to sa piyak. Di... one time to daw may nakahon kung hindi namin daw.
Okay.
Di kinaran ko to mag-CR sa piyak. Di pagsulod ko sa CR mo no, timing daw medyo gapunder-punder na suga. Kapatay-patay bla. Di daw in some ways bala may harap ka. Daw trapped ka bala in between sa feeling ano ni push ko ni. Iba ko i-push. or may salta kay daw di namin. Di wala kang ganyan choice yun eh. I-push na lang, push. Kaya wala, push na lang, push. Pagsalud bang mo na, pagsalud ko gani ako to. Hindi, tapos na, nag-push kid. Ang lain to, may isang mo to nga time. Pag flash ko sa CR, tubig, wala ka panaog. Grabe, scared ko yung ako mo na. Kada tumok mo sa flash mo na, isa ka lang, isa ka. Grabe, yung feeling. Very terrifying. Ganyan katama.
Ang void galing nagpalapit si mo.
Oo na.
Gwa ang void.
Scary. Scary story.
Actually, ito, on gaba na tong flash.
Oo na. Hindi.
Nagdigwa ang
Baka na.
void.
Nagdigo.
Gabra na pronout pa daan. I mean, anong suga?
Punder-punder.
Punder-punder.
Ang last nga blink, ara na sa
Yeah.
TL mo.
Yan. Ano na ako ma-share ng scary story.
May kapang ka to jokes battle ko, no? Wala pa ka pala, saan no? Basi buwas or Thursday?
Ati, sige. Yan, saan lang?
Basi si Nathan or ano, plastaran. Ika, ano ka lang din, Bray, while abot, saan naninlo ka?
Ha?
Nag-flash.
You don't wanna know.
Nag-flash. Nag-push.
Lalamega, ano lang ako din mega, ano din ng, ng post ng video sa YouTube.
Okay.
It's either ano daan, it's either TikTok or YouTube mo daan sa buong. So, if you can't resist, then TikTok. So, kinanglan mo gidya alternatives.
Ito dana na to?
Kamadaya.
Ang stream. Amuling lingaw subong.
Danjan, rada, danjan.
Ara siya ng The Beast nga Koreano.
The heck?
Mamalanda na sa sabong.
Wala sa kasabat.
Di mo nga streaming, pwede na di ka curse.
Oo, wala. Actually, pa mayayaw mga kami since day one.
Di Wingardium Leviosa. Ay, hindi nag-curse no. Nag-curse.
Na-spell mo na.
Gadi. Di kaya ng curse. Harry Potter Night.
Mapa-trivia night taguro ay. Kali kay wala ta ano.
Pwede.
Ano ato?
Nabaila na lang taon yun ng Kingdom.
May
Spoiler!
nawiduhan ka.
Nakuman.
To. Pero sige lang. Gimpost ko naman actually. Ay wala ko gimpost. Gimpang PM ko.
Wala.
Ano. Okay, para wala lang spoiler.
Tama subong namin show sa
Natanaw yun ng Maniac ni Elijah Wood. Amin man na po. POV nga serial killer-ish.
Netflix?
Hindi ko sure kung ara sa Netflix, pero if download nyo, Maniac, Elijah Wood, si Frodo, bala? Si Frodo. POV, tapos siya, serial killer.
Maning time nga, damo ta time nga mag-watch. This is the time to have the time to watch.
Alright guys, 3 minutes before we end the stream. Any last words? Any last words?
Last words?
Parting words there. Parting words. Weird sa last words. Start with Tito Eggy, I guess.
Stay safe.
The effect.
Wala, stay safe lang. And listen to the stream again tonight.
Yay! Thank you. Bri, ikaw,
Hmm?
ano yung mga
Ako
parting
naman,
words?
kao na mga daan sa mga fast food ya kay mga
So, i-close naman nila sa Monday, no?
Joy.
Oo.
Goro. Di ba sure? So sa ano, ay rin man close na. Tayo mo na lang akong parting words yun ako sa Jollibee.
And liquor ban.
Liquor ban kagina.
Oo,
Kagina.
Interesting something. Kundi liquor ban.
Ano?
Actually, there is sa dalawang sa apartment naman nag-shot. What the heck?
May isa ko din karton yung stock.
Nice.
Pero ang advice, I think ang advice is this can indoors, hindi mag-shot sa press con ni Vice. Sa isang naligan. Nga daw.
Oo.
Daw
I mean, if
something daw about ano to, nang mainay mo immune system or what?
Okay. Tito Pao? Kasi ginadula na.
Ay, oo, nagwa na to siya. Siguro. Agi na panawagan, naglinggay-linom sa gwa, no? Pagi to daw. Pagi to daw.
Nag-inom pa
Shot sa daloy.
Di pa drive-by, be. Drive-by, be nga gainom, binora bilang malabay lang motor sa mo. Nga do ready ng tandem, pro shot, gali ang ginadul. Shot mo na, Meg!
Tapos may COVID.
Pero to, na gano bo, ang immune system actually, kung mag-inom ka, be.
Muna
Ato, magina.
Oo.
May basis man dali. Kaya pag press con to, ambal na to nila. Ambal to ni Doc daw, may something sa brain. Blah blah. Pero kung kinambal yan na lang ha, mag-shock ka mo, talaga mo matakit.
Oo. Diretsuan na.
Parang sa akin lang kastorya, Blay. Natawa yung press con. Kasi kung for example, big pamahaw ka lagi ng ilan, kung lalabig ko. Hindi ka kinakachid diya, big. Yung mga brain, slow yung wind type. Yung balas talaga. Mag-shot ka mo, talaga patay. Wala.
brain na friend.
Tito Dan,
Brain niya, big.
parting words.
Lunggo ya.
Ay, bak na mo daan, bugas mong kay bati ko sa mga gamaligya di bugas sa mo na nga ang stock kanu sa mga bodega gapagwa na gapagwa wala nagasulod kiti siyempre ang mga deliveries bila sa mundo na cancel na kag wala na mayo gid sulod ng stock sa Negros tungod man ti malakdaw tagid so imbak na magawa pagkaon kay seriously in the next couple of weeks I think mukon mag-prolong pa ni pagkaon gid ang necessity nga
Right. Ga ma-argue si Tito Ron nga hindi mag-inom, but we'll leave that in another day. Hindi coefficient ang inom with lower immune system. We'll try to tackle that. Kay may ano pa tama, video shotting. Video shotting. Tita Zenki, any last words for your listeners?
For the listeners, yeah, about the whole food and stuff. Stock up na lang, gid, and everything, but please avoid panic buying. There are also people who need alcohol, wet wipes, diapers, sanitary pads, medicines,
Face masks,
that is very important.
gloves.
Soap and vitamins and stuff like that. So please baka lang kamo in according to i-budget nyo man. If it's naman sa 2 weeks with a number of people in your household, and as much as possible, please buy from sa mga sa merkado, sa mga tinda.
Locals.
Yeah, buy from the locals, from our vegetable vendors, fish vendors, because you can preserve those stuff. You can freeze fish and stuff. And
Plus,
also,
hindi nyo napagayo. Just
kag hindi na
hindi na ka mo magayo.
Pero kung man ta naging pamahalan, ayoon yung video
maging pamahalan. Of course, may tindihan ka na.
Pero kailang isa ka tampok, pulo na lang, ayo mo pagidya 2 ka piso.
Well, let's say kung lapit-lapit man lang, let's say kung usually bing ang repolyo.
Repolyo sa bong tag 45, okay naman sa pero 35 gwapo na na. Da bugat na na.
35. Yes, Pero kung
35.
magsusunod,
Actually, kapangita ko subong repolyo, kay gali nadlok mo ko magwa sa balay, no? Pero repolyo, gandang staple food ko di sa balay.
Okay guys, gapangita si Pau Repolyo.
Repolyo, kag, ano ni, carrots. Sino mayara, the free delivery or pwede man ko kabayad sa delivery.
May mga food deliveries subong nga cater groceries, I think.
Ito,
Fresh produce. Yeah po, I think hindi lang ako mag-name pasa tan sa chat ron kay free promotion na sila karon.
Oo,
Sabagay.
gana.
Ay, salamat. Galing kita Lisay area, ambot ko mayara.
Yeah, I think cater sila.
Nang
Mm.
Tito Pao sa Chinda, nakabakal ko kagina lang gid alas 6 ng repolyo carrots.
Pila?
Ay. Ang
Pulo?
isa ka kilo 80.
Ang repolyo?
Isa ka kilo 80. Duwa na nakabilog.
Ah, okay. Oo,
Eh,
abi ko anay ko ng tagutsintang bilog.
Mayo ka
Di
pa.
actually may soke ko da sa tinda eh, kikabalo na sa daan sa hapon na everyday food. Repolyo lang gid kag carrot.
So, ano gani guys? Takto to ng adlang. Siguro kung when everything is over, tanan taguro supportan na local businesses.
Right.
In mention using cable like. May best nga mga sa Starbucks dito ta na isa kapuyan ni Choy ito sa Bangga okay.
True.
Pilas daan ka bulan, daan kamulan. Oh.
Right.
Pagsik na din kapes talisay gila sa medyo Rex kung
Nakulod na. T-shirt including sa parel kay may kilala ko. May friend ko business owner. For example, sila ni Piwi. Hello Piwi kung kumpikan. Amo na pala ila like mga t-shirt businesses subong paktay ganyan.
Yeah.
patay gid
Ay, si Poga naman.
necessities gidaan.
Right. Speaking of local businesses, guys, on our website we will be posting some partnered local businesses on there once we launch it. So yeah, we were already on in a talk with some of our local businesses. So once everything ang bagat in Brian, once tanan, let's support local anay for a span of time. Right. So may dugang pata?
Health-wise, kung kaya nyo man lang sa balay nyo, tara lang anay.
Right.
Pero kung feeling nyo mayroon na kamo sang extended, let's say 1 week ng imo trangkaso.
Oh my.
Usually 1 week, maayo gid man ang trangkaso mo. Pero kung hindi pa gani, please, pa-check up na.
Right.
Alright, that's it.
Okay na the rest?
Pag pag itinimig ng store ka liquid sosa. Liquid sosa, may magbarang bagirahan bite. I mean, waya.
Kapag ulan siya nagabot yaman, tanay sa nagligad sa sadya pag siya mo.
May boss pa ta.
Balik ka buwas ha.
May boss.
Magbarang bagirahan niya sa buhay mi.
Ay oo, sakto gina actually ang liquid sosa. Pero kung alternative, ininet
Wala.
Wala.
Scary. Ito yung may pag-flash ko ka sa tubig.
Nasaan ba kasla extra nga LED light kay para hindi
Right.
maging patasugan.
Correct. Alright guys, again, this is Rekindle PH. We were joined by Tito Eggy, Brian, of course Pao, and Dan, and Zenki. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. This is the scary edition of our online stream. And we're gonna leave you a track coming from Else, a wonderful What Could Have Been. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
We're strolling windows down, the air breezing through your sun-kissed skin. We made a walk downtown, hearts burning, glowing from within. So where did I let you down? Hold on to the moments, memories we have shared and once had. A dream of wonderful what could have been. Stay true to the feeling, embrace the beauty of all the madness. A dream of wonderful what could have been. But we are kicking, jumping all around. We'll chase our dreams someday, 'cause home is with you. I know I am found. So where did I let